Hello once again and welcome back to another episode of Father and Sundays, the unexplainable guide to absolutely nothing. This week is our 20th episode.
20th? Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And we are talking about murder mysteries and maybe even solved a murder mystery ourselves.
Or you.
I know, anyway, stick around if you want to hear more. Right, so after a very speedy introduction there.
Yeah, and a not so speedy second part there.
Yeah. We are talking about murder mysteries today, aren't we, Deb?
We are. There's a fascination with things like this. I would say about 85% of TV programmes seem to be that sort of base to them. So we thought we'd tap into that. Yeah,
there's some kind of morbid interest with murders and murder mysteries and unsolved crimes and true crime documentaries and everything like that. I mean, let's not pretend that this whole podcast isn't tailored around the end of the podcast, what we're doing the game at the end of the podcast.
Well, there is an interest. There's a big interest in this sort of thing, and I thought what we could do, and I must admit, you don't know a huge amount about this, but what we can do is do our own murder mystery at the end. So, I mean, I have, I think only once, I was invited around someone's house where they did a board sort of game murder mystery where you had to come as characters and all the rest of it. So it's similar to that.
Yeah.
But obviously there's only the two of us. So, you know, we'll have to improvise somewhat. But I just thought it would be a bit of fun and see how clever you are.
Yeah, we will do. But before we really get into that, and that'll be in the second half of the podcast, or a bit over half, let's just firstly just talk about that kind of things, because it's a strange thing. There is a really big interest around it, and it is a bit more of a morbid interest. I've got my own ideas where I think it kind of comes from, but where do you think it comes from?
Where it comes from, why people are so
interested in it. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it depends what side of it you're looking at. I mean, certainly the quality of these programs, it's a bit of a circle with these things. When a particular station or the people that make the particular programs see how popular it is, they pump more money into it, you get bigger stars in it and that. So there's that bit of attraction there. However, I think the side of it I like is the problem-solving side, the being the detective yourself. So if you're watching something, the speculation, who is it, what's been done, things like Broadchurch. I couldn't even think of the name of the thing now. It's a massive program, but the good thing about that, there was a murder in that right at the beginning, is you're trying to, week on week, you're trying to work it out at the same time as the detectives in the actual program.
Yeah.
And you might be wildly off, which I normally am, or, you know, it's great when you actually get it right. But I think there's an appeal on that side of things. Although on the other side of it, and you mentioned sort of the documentaries about serial killers, and I think we're both agreed on the way that goes and why people watch those particular ones.
If I'm honest, my idea around why people have such an interest in some of these kind of figures and stuff like that, how they almost become celebrities in themselves, is I feel it's more like similar to how the reason why people like certain video games like GTA. There's an interest in, like, someone wouldn't want to do it in real life, but part of you having that outlet of kind of understanding why someone else would do it, get inside their head and such like that.
So playing it out in a sort of fantasy side of things.
Yeah.
Never being someone who...
Never being that person that physically does it.
Yeah.
But there is still that kind of interest as to why would someone do it, what goes on, what would they get out of it, and what would I get out of it?
Well, I think certainly a lot of people I know
I'm not
watch
planning on
those
killing
things.
anyone, but
good, I'm glad to hear it. But I think there is that interest in the psychology of someone. What makes someone snap, or what is it about that person? Do you become evil and do that, or have you always got that within you? And it's all that sort of side of it, and I think people are really interested in that.
Yeah, and you think about murderous children without being sound really funny. That's okay, I forgive you. Like, have they always been that way? Have they wanted to kill since they were kid? Like, you look at a kid and you think, oh, they're nice, and sweet, and
like the child that tried to kill me on several occasions.
Yeah, like the child that tried to kill you. And
it'd be interesting whether he was born and felt, I must kill someone.
Yeah, if you want to know the story behind that one, you need to listen to the camping episode, the game.
Or he thought, when he met me, he just felt like he needed to kill me. And I think that's probably not just him.
For context, we speak about it in the camping episode, but there was a kid that tried to kill Dad on a couple of occasions.
Number of occasions, not just a couple, you know. Right.
But yeah, so I lost my trail of thought there.
No, I mean, we were just talking about it. So, you know, we're saying, I mentioned Broadchurch, but something like the Line of Duty or Line of Duty is just...
something like the Line of Duty.
Or
Line of Duty.
Line of Duty, yeah. Was phenomenal. And I know it has its... In a
Big
way,
word.
when it becomes so successful, then there's an issue, because if it has to finish, they have to finish it some way. I know there was a lot of debate about that. But that was getting towards the point. And there's a lot of programs that are on Netflix and things like that where you stream stuff and you can watch it, binge watch it. But that was on every week, so you had to wait for the next one. And I like that in a certain extent. There's certain things it's great to binge watch, but that, it gives you time to speculate on it. It gives time for, especially now, social media, with everybody chatting about what they think, who's this, who's that, you know.
Going off on a slight tangent here, and this isn't really to murder mysteries exactly this, because it's all television really, but I find social media a bit bittersweet, because it can be one of those things where after you've watched something you want to go and see what other people think about it and have a conversation worldwide with many people with similar interests. You can basically find anyone on the internet who is a similar interest or has been through the same thing as you have. It's great for many different platforms, like for mental health. There's almost definitely someone who's gone through the exact same thing as you have, or any kind of health problems. So it's great for that. And there's going to be people with the same points of view, different points of view. But there's also the other side of going on there a bit too early and then everything's spoiled for you.
Yeah, I mean, that is the issue, and that's a big danger nowadays. I mean, we get out now with, obviously, even if it's on every week, if you're not around to watch it, whereas we used to videotape it, now you just sort of download it as such. So you've then got to avoid everybody.
Well, on the bright side, sometimes it used to have to be that you could record things, but yeah, you can pick and choose times to go online. Again, we went off and I forgot what I was saying.
But no, again, it's about
forget what I'm saying.
With that sort of thing, with murder mystery or crime things, it's about the you go on this journey with them, and so it's so easily spoiled.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it's building up from, if you've got, I don't know, 8 episodes, and it's building up from episode 1 to who the killer is, and then some wilf is on Facebook and says, oh, it was Joe Bloggs. And you think, oh, for God's sake, I'm only on second.
Did you say Joe Bloggs?
Joe Bloggs, yeah.
It's an actual person.
Is it? Well, it probably is an actual person, but it's just,
I think they're a YouTuber.
Oh, right, okay. But they've probably taken that name. That's probably not their name. Anyway, it completely ruins it for you, because then you know. However, I have watched these programs more than once. So I guess then you're just getting different elements out of it. I mean...
You've watched like Jonathan Creek a number of times.
And I like the cleverness. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's the matter. I like the cleverness. We talked about in books, another episode, go back and have a listen to that, about Sherlock Holmes. And I like the structure of these things. I love it. The more complex, the better. So, that's another element of it.
I just want to go back to something that you mentioned just at the beginning as well, because I feel like it's a key thing, especially with this particular podcast. We're talking about murder mysteries, and it's the almost taking part in these things as well. When it comes to TV, when you play a murder mystery game, even when you're watching like a true crime documentary or reading something about it, part of it, you are playing a detective trying to work things out yourself. And I think that is a key thing that intrigues people about these things. People want to watch things like Making a Murderer, for example, was a documentary. I didn't watch it myself, but it was on Netflix, wasn't it? Becky watched it. People want to make their own decisions about, I don't think they did it, I think they did it. Everyone wants to play judge and jury and everything like that, even though no one wants to do jury duty.
No.
Everyone wants to kind of...
Yeah, in the comfort of their own home, they want to go
without
through
actually making
all
an
those
actual big decision,
grisly details, and actually do it. No, without a doubt. And
I say everyone. Not everyone wants to do that.
No, not everyone's
Some
into
people
it. But
happily live without thinking about these things. But
you only have to look at how many programs are geared around that sort of subject matter to know that it's obviously popular, because if they get the figures, they'll make them.
Yeah.
You know, you went through stages where everybody was watching cooking programs, you know, so they've made hundreds of cooking programs.
There's a human element of our brains are able to do quite a lot. A lot of the time we do quite meaningless things. Like you can sit and watch TV and just take in, without sounding funny, soaps can be a bit like that, and you're just taking in all this stuff and it doesn't really mean anything at all. However, I think just part of you wants to watch this thing so you can get your brain active, think about these things.
You have to watch it. It's not something you can listen to. You have to watch it.
My mum gives it a go.
Oh yeah, but she's able to do multitask. You know, she's
Not sure she can. Sometimes I speak to her and she replies to me about 20 minutes later going, what?
Well, maybe, yeah. But no, I mean, you have to take notice. You
Right,
do, because a lot of this, a lot of it you'll hear, but a lot of it will take place in the background of these things, or you'll see something and the camera will turn around and look at something that's not necessarily talked about. But if you're not watching it, so you have to really engage with something. But I mean, I have a comfort thing. When everybody was raving about Line of Duty, I was more excited about Midsummer Murders coming back, and I was absolutely distraught when I realised they'd only made a certain number of them, and you know, it was.
There's a problem with the times as well. To be fair, whenever there is something made at the moment, there's not generally a lot of them.
But you forget they're sort of almost 2 hours long. But I don't care.
Like Words
I mean,
of Gummidge,
people
I was
take them,
very upset by that.
Well, yeah,
there was only one this year. I mean, I'm not blaming them, but
yeah. But with Midsummer Murders, I mean, they're ridiculous. And they almost can be on in the background. They can be on in the background. But
the fun thing about Midsummer Murders is trying to guess how many people are going to die.
Well, that's where it started off.
Because some murder
mysteries
is just one person, but Midsummer Murders likes to kill off a lot of people. And
it does in the most bizarre ways, and it's getting even more bizarre in this series. So, I mean, but I love it. And the people that have got in it, I mean, it's a list of sort of well-known actors and actresses in the parts, which is just, it's great to watch anyway. So.
I think another one just to briefly mention, have a quick discussion about is Death in Paradise, because that's a really popular one. Like when that comes back, that is a big thing for the BBC.
Yeah.
Every single year. Now, I don't dislike it.
I know what you're going to say.
I actually, it is quite good when you sit and watch it, but I was never particularly a fan of the theme tune. Just because, and I know it's part of like the juxtaposition of it anyway, but see, I use juxtaposition there as well.
That's a great word.
Yeah, thank you. Because it's a very joyful kind of Caribbean, because it is, song, which in my head is just like all these happy things going on, whilst someone's being murdered. Someone's just been murdered, then they play that song.
Yeah,
I guess that exactly being is.
It has got a rather jolly song for what it is. I think what I enjoy about it even more is how much it annoys you. And like, I know that when it comes on, if you're sitting there, because it's a bit ska-like, the actual music, isn't it? Me and Mum like to...
like Be Prepared from The Lion King? Or?
Not that sort of ska, no.
Right.
Without the R. Me and Mum like to have a dance around near you just to rub it in even more that you don't like the theme tune. But, you know, the actual programme's great. And the people...
It's not like I don't like the theme tune, it just doesn't match.
But no, another great program.
The theme tune is good for something else.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I might have to...
Lots of lovely things happening in paradise.
I might have to toy with that.
You going to commission that?
Yes, yeah, I think we'll commission it. I might have to toy with that. We'll have to try and match up music with subject matter that's completely opposite to each other. That might be a bit of fun.
What, the juxtaposition game?
Absolutely.
Right. That's a future podcast?
Yeah, possibly, yeah. Look,
maybe.
We're thinking them up. Write that down, because I'd have forgotten it within a couple of minutes.
I've not written it down. What was it again? I can't remember.
Don't worry.
We'll just have to listen back to this.
We'll have to, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's certainly a popular... It's I mean, a popular sort of thing to do. We've had a laugh doing it. Like you say, we used to try and guess how many people died, which in itself is a bit macabre. But like, you know...
Do you feel like we're being... I can't really remember the word now, but it's almost like the media... This is going to be a bit deep. Media is saying, all these people are dying, get used to it. They're showing us all these shows and just saying, yeah, it's normal for people to die all the time.
That's very, very dark thinking.
No, but
really.
Do you know what my point... Did you get my point? It's almost like they're trying to...
You think they are or
The diluted,
desensitising us,
desensitizing
us to the horrors that are going on in the world. Yeah. Well, certainly I wouldn't work.
Because when it pops up in the news, you go, "Oh yeah, that was a storyline on Death in Paradise a couple of years ago."
Well, it strikes me that you wouldn't go to that island because of the crime
I wouldn't
rate.
go to Midsummer either.
Or Midsummer, but I know they have villages around Midsummer, but there's so many horrific things that happen. Can't be that many people left living there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you just avoid these places, sure.
What was that other show that we're watching? Is it Father Brown?
Oh, yeah.
I only watched one episode of that, but that seemed pretty strange.
It's set in a particular time. It is certainly not to be taken seriously. It's got Mark Williams playing him, isn't it? And even the characters around him are... they're out of Enid Blyton at times.
It's the father, it's the priest that goes
getting involved in all the
murder mysteries.
To be honest, he should be locked up anyway. He shouldn't be doing any of that.
No, he shouldn't be.
No, but he's always there
getting
before
involved
the police.
in police investigations.
But that's age old. Sherlock Holmes used to be there, and Lestrade was always the incompetent detective that followed up on what Sherlock Holmes found, and you find that as a similar trait in and a lot of them like that. But
yeah,
no, I love him. It's great.
They are good fun, and Cluedo is always a good game to play.
No, it's not. No.
All right, you're not.
Don't enjoy Cluedo. I just find that people.
You sound a bit like Maui now, the cat.
Do I? Oh right, I'm sorry.
The way you're
about
speaking.
That. Am I? Right,
That's a cool
I'm not at all.
Pets episode when we interviewed our pets.
But no, Cluedo is. Yeah, I like it when we start playing it, but we've talked about this back in board games. And,
are we just naming all the podcasts now?
Yeah, that's all we're doing now. So
back when the Bigfoot episode,
it just gets a bit frustrating because I'm not always 100% sure when I ask someone. I say to someone, for instance, Mrs. White in the library with the lead pipe in, and they go no, and then I find out towards the end of the game. Because I think, oh right, I've got it, and I have a guess, and the person I ask, oh yeah, no, I did have it, I didn't realise, and then that defeats the whole point of the game, and that's happened on more than one occasion.
I don't think that's happened. I've only remember that happening once. To be honest, I seem to remember there was one time that we forgot to put the cards in the envelope.
Yeah, which made it really, really
hard,
really
because
difficult.
Because no one got murdered. No one actually murdered.
So, and was that the time we played it? We
played it
on a glass table, and
Sam won it within a couple of turns.
He won it within a couple of turns, and I couldn't help thinking he must have just kept dripping his pencil, dropping his pencil, and going to pick it up, and then just writing down what everybody had. Yeah. But he'll deny that.
He will
deny that.
He doesn't like playing Cluedo now, just
but
in
we
case, because he knows he's got
perfect record.
He's got perfect record of getting it within seconds, basically. So he doesn't want to ruin it.
Right. So anyway, we expect a complaint in from him now.
Yeah,
after
we'll get a
complaint
from him. Anyway, I think based on what we're going to be doing at the end of the podcast, it's going to be a short first bit. Yeah. Because I know the next bit's going to be quite a long one.
Well,
well, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. We'll
so.
See what happens.
Yeah.
And but yeah, we'll call it there. You never know. Some of this might come up in a future podcast because we seem to keep mentioning previous ones anyway.
Okay.
Now, there's no sponsor this week.
No.
So we're just going to go straight in.
We are.
You've got a bit of because should we just briefly talk about what we're going to do, or should we do that after playing?
I think we can talk about. I shall tell you what we're about to do and what it's called, and then we'll hear the start.
Just before,
of the episode. What?
You may have seen a trailer for this already.
You may have seen a trailer with an unbelievably brilliant actor in it. I couldn't believe we managed to get him for the leg work and the shoe work.
What, the baby bell on the wheel of the car?
Yeah, well, the baby bell stuck on the wheel was the star of the show.
If you've seen the trailer and you didn't spot the baby bell, go back and watch it. Also, if you didn't spot the cameraman in the reflection of the door, go back and watch it.
And all the weeds and everything else that I should have cleared up before we even started that. But,
we just rushed out because we thought it needs to be in the rain, so it just rained.
Yeah.
Anyway, proceed, please.
So, I invite you to solve the mystery of murder at Hardington Manor. As young detective drives through a terrible storm as he makes his long journey home after another tiring day at work. The windscreen wipers can barely clear the rain fast enough as a young man strains to see the road ahead. His mind wanders as he thinks about his wife and children waiting for him, but then he realises he's not married and he hasn't got any children. Just a Siberian hamster called Simon, who is blind in one eye and has cotton buds for back legs due to an accident involving a pedal bin. He clears his mind and notices a warning light on the dashboard, and suddenly his car grinds to a halt. He finds himself stranded outside some large ornate iron gates which are slightly ajar. He notices some lights from the windows of the manor house at the end of the drive. He decides to seek some help.
This is a very long driveway.
Hello?
Oh, hello.
Can I help you?
Yeah, if you could. I was just down the end of your incredibly long driveway.
Oh, yes, a very long drive.
Very long drive. I feel like I've met you before.
No.
No.
Don't think we've ever met.
Yeah, I was just down the very long drive and my car broke down.
Oh dear.
Is there any help? Have you got like a phone I could use? Or
You're welcome to use the phone. I'll go and see the master.
All right. Can I come in?
Yes, sure. Oh,
Oh my God! What's that noise?
my master.
What's happened to your master?
Come with me quick. He's been murdered.
Oh no! All right.
Okay,
So I'm following him.
you're following him. Funny that you tried the phone just now, did you?
Oh yes, I tried the phone.
What-
I wonder what that hand movement was.
Okay, but what happened? Did it work?
I'm guessing not because I couldn't get hold of anyone.
Okay, that's great. Right, so you've reached the library, and Pubes, who's the butler who you've just
He didn't
met.
introduce himself, did he?
No, he didn't.
How
But I don't
rude.
think he was really expecting to have any dialogue, particularly. You walk into the library. There's Pubes by the side of you, and he's looking very white and shaky. But what you can see there's a man laying down on the floor. On the library floor, he's got a book clutched in his hands, which you can see says Heroes of WW2.
Right.
And a large, huge novelty pencil from the Derwent Pencil Museum protruding between his shoulder blades. You look and you can see that he's got a watch on, right? And when you look at his watch, it's smashed on, presumably when he fell, and it shows that he's probably been dead for about an hour.
All right.
But Pubes' scream sounds like it's alerted other people in the house.
Oh, there's other people here as well.
There is other people.
Otherwise,
in
I
the
would just
house.
said it's pubes.
So the noise brings other guests down from their rooms. There's Lady Brittany, and she's the first one to arrive and swoons at the sight of the body. Luckily, following her was Sergeant Major Overhaul, who catches her before she falls. Last to arrive is Ophelia Bumcheeks, who gasps in horror. D.I. Connor tells them all to
Oh, that's
step
me.
out of the library so he can preserve the crime scene. He looks around and takes it all in.
Wow. There's a dead man there. I can see that.
Right?
So there's 3 people. Yeah. A dead man and then the butler.
Yep. Now,
Okay.
the dead body is by the side of a desk.
Right.
There are 2 glasses on a nearby bureau.
2 glasses.
2 glasses.
Are they empty or full?
One of them's full, one of them's empty.
Right.
A single cigar butt is in an ornate ashtray. All the other doors are locked from the inside. quite a few books are scattered around
So
the
have we all
room.
come in the same door?
Yes. Presumably, Pubes forced the door or found the door open, but you'll have to ask Pubes. And
Pubes? Pubes, mate?
Yes.
Did you open this door?
It was locked from the inside, but it was open
Right.
a
Sorry?
second ago when I went to find the master.
I'm confused. So,
When I went earlier to check the master was okay, the door was locked, so I knocked on the door and spoke. He said everything was fine, so I left him and went about my business. When you arrived and I went to find him again, I expected the door to be locked, but it was slightly open. And that's
Okay.
when I saw him.
Right, so it was open when you came, when you found him.
It was open when I found him.
Right. Cheers, Pubes.
Oh, that's okay. You can call me Curly.
No. I'll call you Curly Pubes.
Oh, maybe just pubes.
All right.
Okay. Am I excused because I'm feeling very faint at the moment?
No.
Okay.
Right.
So-
I don't want anyone to leave the room at the moment. Like, I want people to remain where I know they are. I don't want
Okay.
anyone to go too far.
okay, so you lead the remaining people to the lounge, where Pubes,
Where you say remaining people, basically all four of them.
yeah, who has now regained his composure, but who is deathly white, pours some large brandies to calm the nerves. D.I. Connor looks around the room at the faces. His mind races. It must have been a murder, but who is the murderer?
I guessed it was a murder because there's a novelty-sized pencil in his back.
Very well done for noticing that, and you're well on your way.
So, is there anything in the room, particularly this room, that I should
In
be...
this lounge, no, this lounge looks quite ordinary, apart from some very shaky people stood around looking at each other.
They need to get off those electric massage chairs, don't they?
Apart from the electric massage chairs, which Pubes has just turned off at the plug.
Right. So everyone stopped shaking now.
Yes.
Right. Can I speak to some of them?
Yes, you can. Who would you like to speak to first?
Can I speak to the Colonel?
The Colonel. Okay. So,
Excuse me, Mr. Colonel Man.
Yes, sir.
Can I have a word?
Of course, sir.
Right. Are we in a room on our own now?
Well, yes, because Pubes has just taken out the rest of them, sir.
Right. Where's Pubes taking them?
Into the hallway, sir.
Right. And all three of them together, yeah?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So, Mr. Colonel Man, what's your name again?
My name is Sergeant Major Overhaul.
Right, so you're not a colonel.
No, I don't know why you kept calling me a colonel. He clearly wasn't listening at the beginning. But we've all been rattled by this murder.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of them.
I'm sure you have. Who are you, by the way?
D.I. Connor.
Oh, is that Dick for short?
Yeah.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Sergeant Major Overhaul. Yes,
Overhaul.
Overhaul.
Right. Now, I've got some questions for you. Would you mind answering them for me?
Not a problem, sir.
So, firstly, I want to find out, did you by any chance stab that guy in the back with a novelty-side pencil?
No, sir. He's my friend, sir.
Right. How long have you known him?
On and off for about the last 3 years. We go to the same drinking and gambling club.
Oh, so that's how you know each other, from the same drinking and gambling club?
Yes, yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So, what brings you here tonight? Why are you here tonight?
He invited me. He likes to do dinner parties, and he decided to invite me.
So did you have a dinner party?
Yes, sir.
What did you have to eat?
I had some asparagus, and then I had some sort of chicken pasta bake, and then some meringue for afters.
Was it nice?
It was lovely.
Who
Yes.
cooked it?
Huh?
Who cooked it?
I believe Pubes cooked it.
Pubes did it. So, just during this time, where were you just before we found the body of
I was in my bedroom, sir.
your bedroom?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Do you know where the other guys were?
Ms. Ophelia is in the bedroom at the end of the hall, on the first landing where I am, and Lady Brittany is in the room next to mine.
Right. Okay. So, was this straight after dinner you went off to your bedrooms?
No, we sat and chatted for a little while, and then Sir Harry Hardington said he had a few things he needed to tend to, so we all retired.
Right. I think that's the first time we've said Harry Hardington's name, isn't it?
Did you not know his name was Sir Harry Hardington?
I don't think we mentioned it. But anyway,
Okay. No.
So, all right. So, just what I find quite strange about this is you're at a dinner party.
Yes, sir.
And you have the dinner party.
Yes, sir.
And then it's still like reasonable time of the evening, but you all decide to go off in your own bedrooms.
I think you may have some water in your ear, sir. I said he had to tend to some business, he said, and we just retired a bit early. It's been a busy day.
It's weird that he's doing business when he's inviting people round, isn't it?
Well, he's a very busy man.
What does he do for a living? Do you know?
Well, I think he dealt in stocks and shares. He used to own a number of theatres at one stage, I believe.
How many?
But he's made I don't know. We don't talk about business too much at the club. We just, enjoy each other's company. Maybe talk about the war.
All right. So, what year is this?
What year is this?
Yeah.
It's
year are we in?
2021.
Right. Okay. So how old are you?
Well, it's
So which war are we talking about?
World War Two, sir. World War
Right.
Two.
So you're very old, aren't you?
I am very old. I am extremely old, yes.
And Harry's really old as well.
Harry? No, Harry's a bit younger than me. He's only
So
in his...
he was alive in the war, was he?
No.
So you talk about your experience in the war with Harry.
Yes, he's very interested. He's very
Right.
interested in the war. He's very interested.
Is he?
Yes, he's very interested.
How interesting.
Very.
Right. So do you have any idea who do you think of any reason why someone else would want to murder?
Well, sir, I don't know. It's he was a bit of a hit with the ladies, but perhaps a jealous husband. I don't know. It's been a real shock.
A jealous husband. So none of the people here you think murdered him.
I don't know. They seem perfectly pleasant.
Have you seen him have fallings out with anyone recently, or yourself?
I saw him have words with Lady Brittany earlier on, but I have no idea, and they seemed okay afterwards.
Right. Okay. I've had enough of you. You can go now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
I'm going to speak with Ms. Ophelia now.
Right. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
You've got a nice voice.
Thank you very much. I'm from the East End, but you can't tell that with my voice.
No, I can't. Can you?
No, you can't. No.
What's your star sign?
My star sign? It's Sagittarius.
All right. And how did you murder Harry Hardington?
I didn't murder Sir Harry. He's a dear friend of mine.
How long have you known each other?
We've known each other for 30 years.
30 years?
Yes.
Yes, you had to think about that for a moment, didn't you?
Well, it's a long while.
It is a long while. So, have you ever been in a romantic relationship with Harry?
Well, one mustn't talk about these things, but...
No, one
yes,
must, because you're speaking of a detective.
Back in the day, yes, we were close. We were close.
Anything recently? You've got a husband?
No, I never married.
Right. What do you think of the other two?
Well, Sergeant Major's a bit stiff, but, when I saw Lady Brittany, she seems very pleasant.
All right, how about Pubes? What do you think of Pubes?
I don't really know Pubes that well. I've only met him tonight.
All right.
So, I think he's fairly new working here.
All right. And have you ever been here before then?
Oh, I've been here before, yes.
And Pubes is new.
Oh, no, yes, Pubes. I think he's only worked for 6 months, perhaps,
Okay.
like that, something like that.
All right. And at the dinner party tonight, where did you go after you finished eating?
I went up the apples and pears to my room, and
Right, you are from the East End, aren't you?
I am.
Right, so you went up to your room on your own?
Oh yes, on my own.
All right. Did you speak to Harry at all today?
And I spoke to him over dinner. We discussed.
On your own at any point?
I don't think we were alone, apart from when I first arrived, and we talked. But
All right.
I couldn't believe my mince pies when I saw him lying there in that room,
What did it make you feel?
sick to my stomach.
Right. And if you had to take notes on a novelty-sized notepad, what size pencil would you use?
Oh, I don't like pencils. I prefer to use pens.
Right. Okay. And if you were to pour 2 drinks, would you only drink one?
Oh, I'm teetotal.
Right.
I don't
teetotal.
drink. Yes.
Okay. And something else. What do you think World War Two?
Oh, it was ghastly, wasn't it?
Yeah, were you around?
No.
No. All right.
How old do you think I am?
Don't know. In your 50s?
Yes. But a lady never talks about her age, really.
Right. You just asked me how old you think you
I know, but I didn't expect you to ask me.
are. All right. Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Can I speak to the Pubes Meister now?
Hello, sir.
Hello, Mr. Pubes.
Hello, sir.
You're right, Curly. The Amazon Echo's just gone off.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
What's one of those, sir?
Oh, it's 2021. You surely should know.
I don't know that one.
Oh my God, she's loud.
Yeah.
Anyway, how long have you been working for Mr. Harry Hardington?
I've worked for sir for around 6 months now.
Around 6 months. You're relatively new, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And did you cook the meal?
Yes,
Yeah.
I cook, I clean.
Did everyone have the same thing?
I believe, no. Lady Brittany's a vegetarian, so I had to make something slightly different for her.
All right, okay. So
Risotto.
risotto she had, yeah.
Yes.
So after
Bean risotto.
bean risotto. So after everyone had eaten, where did everyone go?
Well, I saw the Colonel chatting.
He's not colonel. I've discussed with him. He's actually a sergeant. I don't know if
is
you knew.
he? He got promoted since last time I looked at my notes. He's first lieutenant colonel overhaul. He was talking to Sir Harry briefly, and then they all went up to their rooms.
Right. Okay. So you saw the sergeant speaking with Harry on his own.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. And did you see Miss Azalea Ophelia speak to
Ms. Ophelia Bumcheeks.
Bum Cheeks? Did you
Yes.
see her speak to Harry at all?
Not in. No. I was clearing
No.
away the dishes.
Right.
No.
And if you just as a hypothetical, if you wanted to kill someone, how would you do it?
Oh, sir, no. I couldn't think. It's not something that crossed my mind. Perhaps a crossbow,
A crossbow. That's quite a messy way of doing
a
it. isn't
large sword.
it? Or a large sword. A large sword. How about a large pencil?
Oh no, sir, no, sir.
No. How about poison in a drink?
Poison, sir?
Poison.
No, sir, no.
No. Okay. All right. So, what do you think of World War Two?
World War II, sir. It's terrible. My father died in World War II, and it brings back terrible memories. I was evacuated towards the end of the
You're
war.
very old, aren't you?
I am very old, sir.
Some would say you probably should have retired by now, shouldn't you?
But I've been in service for people for some time now. I don't know any other life, sir.
Okay. And where did you go after everyone finished eating?
I went to the kitchen, sir, and cleared up, and then I made sure the dogs were put away, and then I went to check with Sir Harry to make sure he was okay.
And did anyone see you go to the kitchen and do all this on your own?
No, sir. They had retired by the time I came back.
And do you think any of the other guys killed him?
I think I know that the Colonel.
He's Colonel again.
I know that the Colonel has some problems. I know he owes Sir Harry quite a lot of money. They play
from
poker.
the gambling?
So they play poker, yes.
Yeah, all right.
But
Really dobbing him in now, aren't you?
whether he'd kill him or not, sir, I don't know.
All right. Bye then. I've got to speak to the other one now.
What, Lady Brittany?
Hello, Lady Brittany. You okay?
Hello.
Right. You've got a very similar voice to some of the others.
I know.
Right.
We're all from the same place.
Right. And what place is that?
Oh, just around.
Right. Okay. So Earth. So where did you go after you finished your meal?
I retired to my room and went through my ablutions,
Right.
darling.
Did you cross your leg, make you feel better? Did you see anyone have a chat with Mr. Harry after?
Sweetheart, we all had a chat with Sir Harry.
Anyone privately though?
Oh, dumplings. I think I saw the Colonel spoke to him for a brief while, but I don't know other than that, love biscuit.
How many times has the Colonel been promoted?
What, in this discussion?
Yeah.
Several,
right.
Sweet cheeks. You're very attractive.
Thanks. And what would you?
Are you married?
Yes, to my job. So, what? How did you
That's a
kill?
shame.
How did you kill Harry?
I never killed Sir Harry, and of course I didn't kill him. I was in my room the whole time.
That's exactly
On
the whole
my
time.
own.
The whole time,
Yes, the whole time.
even when you ate.
No.
Did you see pubes after the meal?
I beg your pardon.
Did you see pubes after the meal? Curly pubes. Did you see him?
He went off. I heard him walking about and muttering to himself.
What was he muttering?
My lovely.
He was muttering, my lovely.
I couldn't tell what he was muttering. He didn't seem very happy.
All right.
But he doesn't seem very happy anyway, does he? Blue
I don't know.
eyes.
I haven't really paid that much attention to him to know if he's not very happy, because the narrator hasn't told me he's not very happy. Anyway, so after that, blah blah blah, you spoke to them. Did you have a drink with Harry at all? What's your drink of choice?
Oh, I like champagne.
Right.
And I also like most drinks, WKDs.
Right.
I like
Jägermeister?
White Lightning, and I'm partial to a brandy.
Right. Okay. I've had enough now.
You've
Bye.
got lovely hair.
Bye.
Can I feel your beard?
No, thank you. Right. So I've done my first round of interviews.
Yes, you have. So
Yes.
how are you feeling?
You seem surprised that I pressed the record button there.
I was. I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting you to do that. I was just about to talk to you about it. But yeah, so how are you feeling? It's certainly a bit of a mystery, isn't it?
Yeah,
Some might say a
murder mystery. I think I've got a couple of ideas. I think the Colonel seems to be hiding something from me anyway, but I feel like that could be down to his money troubles. I feel like that Brittany is trying to distract me the entire time I speak to her.
Yes.
I feel like
Sorry, I slipped into a different voice then for a second.
I feel like Pubes is just unhappy, probably not the right work-life balance, or he's just feel like he's not being appreciated by his master. And Ophelia was a little bit underwhelming that I've forgotten most of what she said.
Right. Okay. So what are you going to do? You're going to have to have a little bit more. I mean, they're rattled. You can tell they're rattled. They're all looking at each other. They don't really know who to trust. There's definitely a murderer amongst us.
Well, yeah, because otherwise this would be a very boring game in this podcast.
I wonder about the pencil. What's the significance of the pencil?
It's lodged in the back of Harry Hardington.
But why?
All right. Shall we move on to stage 2?
Okay.
So there's another round of interviews.
Well, just a chat, a little brief chat with people.
Can I have a group chat with everyone?
You can have a group chat with everyone. We'll see how that goes.
We'll see.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, darling. Hello.
So, let's just do a bit of circle time, get to know each other. I'll start. My name's Connor. I'm 22 years old and I've been a detective inspector for 35 years. I have a 100% win rate on solving cases, and when I don't, something mysteriously happens. And also, I'm from the southeast. I'm from Essex. Next.
Are you asking us
to share everything about you, and I've never murdered anyone.
Okay. I'm Colonel. I'm Colonel Major Overhaul. No, hang on. I'm Major Colonel. No, what am I? I'm getting confused. Yes. I'm Major. I'm Sergeant Major Overhaul. I've just remembered it. Sergeant Major Overhaul. I fought in the Second World War. I was in the army. I fought.
Do you like pencils?
I fought in the landings in Scandinavia. I don't know what you mean about pencils.
They're wooden, normally got a bit of graphite in the middle.
Yes, I have no real issue with pencils. They're fine. I own pencils.
How many pencils do you own?
I own 5 or 6 pencils. I'm a lucky man.
You are a lucky man.
I have been collecting them.
And where are you from?
Well, I've been all around the world, but I actually live in Chigwell.
And where are you from?
What, originally?
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware of Norfolk Broads.
Are you aware of it?
I was brought up in a windmill in the Norfolk Broads.
Okay, I'm bored of you now. Next, please.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
My name is Percival Pubes.
I thought it was Curly.
Yeah, no, that's my nickname.
Right, okay. And where are you from?
I'm originally from sort of Derby way.
Right. And if you were to win £10,000 tonight, what would you do with the money?
That'd be nice. Oh, I'd love to. I'd love to buy a little cottage up in the hills, in the valleys,
Have you got any family members that you're buying the cottage with? Any partner?
No. Yeah, just me.
Well,
it's a lonely life for Butler.
Well, let's hope we can get you that cottage through this. But first, let's get on with the chase. So your chaser tonight is the Duchess.
The Duchess?
Yeah.
Oh, I like the Duchess. Oh,
yeah.
great.
Right. Oh. So, question number 1. Did you murder Harry Hardington? A, yes. B, no. Or C, I'm not sure yet.
B, no.
Right. B, no. Okay. And what do you think of pencils?
I like them as much as the next butler.
Right. Do butlers keen on pencils?
Oh, Butler always has a pencil, sir.
Have you ever... I've heard about this really nice pencil museum. Have you been there? In Dortmund?
Oh, what, the Derwent
Derwent.
Pencil Museum.
Yeah.
So yes. I've got a season ticket there.
Has anyone else been there?
No.
Right, okay. So did you go there on your own?
Yes, sir. I always go on there on my own. Yes.
Right. And has anyone had a drink with Harry tonight on their own?
He was expecting someone, sir.
Do you know who he's expecting?
I don't know, sir. He just asked me to pour 2 drinks for him and then asked me to
you
leave.
poured the drinks?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right, okay. Next, please.
Hello. Ophelia.
Hello, Ophelia.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Nice bum cheeks.
Thank you very
Ophelia
much.
bum cheeks. So, what do you think of pencils?
Pencil. I'm not so keen on pencils. No. Not a big lover of pencils. Yeah.
Right. So you've never been to the museum then?
No, I'm always too busy in the theatre.
Right. Okay. I am trying to think of more questions to ask you. What do you think?
What was that?
What question do you think I should ask you?
Oh well, I've played all sorts of parts. If you're interested.
Oh, I'm not.
I'm not so much these days. It's a young girls' game. And I do get lots of parts now for nurses and older women and mothers and grandmothers, and not like back in the day when I was so beautiful and didn't have problems with my plates of meat like I do now. Those were good days, but then it all changed.
Why did it change?
I got old. People didn't want me anymore. People.
What people?
Just people. It's when you get a few wrinkles, you're surplus to requirements now. And you're just cast aside, and you have to do the best you can.
Right. Is this a hint at Harry casting you aside? When you got
wrinkly?
Harry
and me, that was long ago. He moved on quite quickly.
Who did he move on with?
Oh, who didn't he move on with? He always had a pretty girl on his arm.
Yo, Brittany? Did he move on with you?
Did he move on with me?
Yeah.
I knew Sir Harry very well.
Right.
He had lovely skin.
Right. Had?
Well, he's
dead
probably
now, isn't he?
starting to decompose now, isn't he?
He is.
Sugar.
Right. I feel very uncomfortable talking to you.
Why is that? Hot lips?
What do you think of pencils?
Pencils?
Yeah.
I find them okay.
Right.
I use them with paper quite
With paper?
often to write notes.
Okay. I think I'm done talking to people.
Okay. It's very good to talk to you. Perhaps we can exchange numbers.
Absolutely not. You can all go into the lounge now. Bye.
Bye.
Need to
Bye. Bye.
I need to talk to this bloke over here that keeps telling me what's around the room. So, I've gathered you all here because I have solved the murder of Harry Hardington.
Oh.
Ooh, all the gasps. Anyway, so, firstly I want to talk you through the night's events. So, first of all, what had happened was Pubes had... He's been a bit upset. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but he's been a bit upset.
I have, sir, yeah.
Yeah. The reason being is because he went to the Pencil Museum. Yeah. And he went on his own. He asked Harry Hardington if he'd go with him, and Harry Hardington said, "No, you're just my employee. I don't want to go to the Pencil Museum with you." He went to the Pencil Museum on his own. He bought him a novelty-sized pencil, brought it back to him, gave it as a gift. Harry was not too pleased, but he just discarded it. Went, "Oh, whatever, thanks, but I'm busy." Now, he was upset by this. Pubes was upset by this, but he didn't murder Harry Hardington.
Oh, then who did, sir? Who did?
Well, the reason why Harry was so all over the place was because he has lent money to Sergeant. The sergeant has been needing to pay it back, and this has been stressing Harry out, and this is why he's been all over the place and been busy, and he's been ignoring his butler friend, who they were okay about 6 months ago when he hired, but they're now a bit distant.
Oh, very, very distant, yes.
Yeah. So the sergeant has been getting quite tense. Now, what part of the reason why he was invited tonight was so they could have talks in a friendly manner, but being quite serious in, I need this money back, because no one knows this, but Harry's business has been going a little bit downhill. It's not been going as well as everyone thought it had. And
Yes, sir.
and Sergeant needs to give the money back to Harry.
It's true, like I owe him lots of money, sir.
And you spoke to him about it a bit earlier on. You didn't tell me about it, but everyone else saw you speak to him.
It was a
about
brief
earlier on.
conversation, sir.
You did have a brief conversation, and then you went to your room, and you didn't murder Harry Hardington.
Then who did, sir?
Well, then we come to Ophelia Bumcheeks.
Yes.
So, you've been invited tonight. You used to have a relationship with Harry many years ago, back when you were like 6, and you weren't wrinkled. And it was a very nice relationship, but things ended.
They did. I admitted they did.
Yeah, and Harry invited you tonight because he wanted to try and make things up to you a bit. He got pubes to pour you a brandy each, and you went in there and you met with him, you spoke with him, and he wanted to just clear the air. You thought, oh, maybe this would be another chance, but it was clear the air, and it was also to admit to you that he has been seeing the other lady's name.
Lady Brittany?
Lady Brittany.
God blimey, you're joking.
Yeah, he'd been seeing Lady Brittany, and they were performing this bit of relationship. You got very upset, and you considered poisoning the brandy, but you didn't. You drank it, you got angry, you cried, you left. You didn't kill Harry.
Then who did?
Lady Brittany went in to see Harry. She had heard about the conversation with Sergeant Colonel Mustard Overhaul, and she went in to see him to check he was all okay. He was upset. He was clearly upset, and she'd just seen that Ophelia had left. She was upset. He was upset, and she decided to talk to him. Now, they're in a relationship. They kissed, but Lady Brittany isn't in the relationship for the same reasons that Harry Hardington is. Lady Brittany is in a relationship for the money. Now, when she spoke to him about Sergeant, she realised that his business was going downhill, and she thought, I'm not going to get the money I want. But she knew that she would get some money from insurance and such like that. So what she decided to do is she put on lipstick with poison in it.
I always wear lipstick, lover.
Yeah, with poison in it. And kissed...
Poison lips?
I don't know now exactly, because Ophelia already drank the brandy, didn't she? So, because she loves brandy, and a bit of an alcoholic, but that's a different story. Anyway, and you killed Harry, and you planted the pencil in his back to frame pubes, and you planted the World War II book on him to frame the Colonel, which doesn't really make sense, because just because they talk about World War II doesn't mean that he reads books about World War II whilst they're speaking to each other. So you killed Harry, and that is the end of the story.
Oh my God. But it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Well, who was it then?
Can't believe it. Okay, I admit it. It was me.
Alright, well there you go, my investigation's over, I did win, because you just admitted that you killed him, so now you're under arrest. Anything you do or say may be held in evidence against you when you may rely on in court. So I did it.
What? You tricked me. You tricked me into saying it was me.
Yeah, exactly what I intended.
He
He knows I'm a fraud. He knows I was never in World War II. He's been looking up information in a book.
This is exactly what I knew beforehand.
Yeah.
But I just tried to get you to admit it.
Oh,
See, everything
okay.
you're saying I can be used as evidence.
I know.
Wow, you really whacked that mic.
I know, I'm so distraught that I've been tricked.
Yeah. Anyway, so I've caught you.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
You managed to catch him, even though it looked like you hadn't actually managed to catch him, by using things like trickery and yes.
Completely intended.
All right. Well done.
Thank
You're
you very
still
much.
at 100% success rate.
100%.
D.I. Connor.
Yeah.
D.I.C.
DIC. Anyway, thank you. That was a bit of fun.
It was something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It would be interesting to hear what it actually sounds like, but, never mind.
Yeah. So just before we briefly wrap things up, there is something that I wanted to mention.
Do you mean briefly before we wrap things up?
Briefly, yeah, because we're not going to be brief and wrapping things up. So anyway, we did release our pets episode last week. We genuinely were crying laughing whilst recording it. We listened to it back, we cried laughing again. We've had comments from family members saying they cried when laughing. With that as well, though, there was one complaint that we had sent in.
It was indeed.
There was one complaint.
Who was that complaint for? Or are you going to read it out first and then...
I'll read it. So this is from Becky. Now, she's previously sent us something really complimenting the musicals episode. Now, this one says, "Hi, I've been listening to your Pets episode and I must say I was thoroughly enjoying it until 27 minutes and 18 seconds in."
That's very precise.
I know.
Sounds like she's got someone there timing it.
Exactly. When Connor, that's me, mentioned that Annie named Bubbles, so my other sister named Bubbles, I, Becky, named her.
Oh.
Annie wanted to call her Tibbles, and my suggestion of Bubbles won. P.S. I wanted to call Bilbo Louis.
She did. She was the one who called him Louis for a few weeks to try and get him
So,
to...
I think what's happened there is I've accidentally said that Becky wanted to name... that Annie was the one to name her Bubbles, because that's what I thought the story went. I will point out that I was very, very young at the time.
You were, yeah.
About one? So I
can't... Yeah, I guess so.
I don't remember
Well, how
it.
old... Yeah.
So, at the end of the day,
You're
I was that age.
few years old,
Dad
weren't you?
thought he'd named her Bubbles, so there we go.
Yeah,
So
I thought I'd named her after the song, so that's where that went wrong.
there you go. I'm sorry that I got it wrong, but in all fairness, I wasn't really conscious of these things that happened at the time, so I do apologise. I hope you forgive me. Yeah, that's what I wanted to mention.
That's nice.
Lots of positive things about the Pets episode, but Becky hated it for that reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, that wraps up. Unless you got anything else you want to mention,
I haven't got anything else.
Right? Okay, then
I'm
we'll
spent.
Fair enough. Well, anyway, in that case, thank you so much for listening once again. Remember, we have got our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, where you can follow us on there, like those as well. You can listen to our podcast on many different platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, all of those. We've also got a website, fatherandsundays.com. You can go on there, find all the stuff on there as well. We've got blog posts. You can also go to the contact us form, which is what Becky had used in this instance to contact us. So if you can do that, that would be great. We would always love to hear some things from you guys. But other than that, I think that's pretty much all I've got to mention.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like there was... Oh, yeah, and also, if you did ever want to leave a review, things like iTunes do allow the possibility you can leave a review of a podcast. So if you ever want to do that, it does actually help with ratings and stuff like that. It helps people discover the podcast. So if you want to do that at any point, that would be great. Ideally, if you're given a good review, that would be best.
Yeah. Bring us down, crashing down.
Because we don't need to really bring it down anymore. But anyway, thank you once again for listening to the podcast. Anything else?
No.
Just before we go? All right, well, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.